There are more than 1 million Latinos in Pennsylvania, and as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, we want to highlight what the state government is doing to help the Latino community. With more on this, we want to welcome Olga Negron, Executive Director of the Governor's Advisory Commission on Latino Affairs. Thank you so much for joining us, Olga.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so talk to us about the commission, what it is, and how you ensure the Latino community has representation and, most importantly, a voice in the government.
Yes, so the commission, we have 30 commissioners, and they are Latino leaders from all over the Commonwealth. Most of them are from the counties that we actually have a highest number of Latinos. I actually have Latino leaders from 12 different counties, from Delaware, Dauphin, Chester, Lancaster, Montgomery, Philadelphia, Northampton, Lehigh, Berks, all the way to Erie, Allegheny, and Lucerne County. So we are very well covered. And these are Latinos, the leaders that are very well known and know their community very well. And they serve as liaison, as the eyes and ears of the governor. So we meet monthly and we meet in person quarterly, and we talk about the issues that are happening within their community. I then present that information to the governor. And this year, for example, some of the priorities that we chose, that the governor then included those into his budget. And then we work with legislators to make sure that some of these line items actually make it through. But they are actively working and serving as the eyes and ears for the governor in terms of Latino community.
Yeah, and talking about the priorities, I know safe and affordable housing is a big need for the Latino community. Hispanic home ownership and renters has significantly grown, but there's also been claims of housing discrimination against Latinos. What resources or programs are available for access to fair housing?
Well, the Pennsylvania Human Relations has worked diligently and very actively with that issue, and they have created an ambassador program. They also have workshops that they go to the community directly. But the ambassador program is actually trained leaders throughout the community, and they are training how to look at issues and how to handle them and how to prepare a complaint to the Pennsylvania Human Relations so that they are aware of situations, and then they come to the communities and do workshops and trainings to better mediate and help issues within communities.
Yeah, and I know affordable child care is also a massive problem. The National Research Center on Hispanic Children and Families says low-income Latino families are underserved. So what initiatives have you recommended to Governor Shapiro to help families?
Well, we still have a lot of work to do, but we have been working diligently to think out of the box, what's working and what's not, and what can we do better. One of the recommendations that my commissioners had was to have a conversation with businesses, especially big businesses, as they actually struggling keeping employees, and one of the issues is affordable childcare or even childcare availability, period. And to encourage them to partner with organizations, with childcare organizations, to have childcare services provided within their services. And we're talking about, for example, the Amazon or the Walmart, the big companies that we've seen warehouses all over, and they are employing a lot of Latinos, and they could have a childcare center right on premises, so close by, to make everything easier for the families, for the children, for the employees. And I'm happy to see that a collaboration like that already happened in the Lehigh Valley with Lehigh Valley Health Network and the YMCA, and it's something that is working really, really well. So we are hoping that we keep encouraging that to the governor so he can encourage businesses to do so.
Yeah, and let's talk about healthcare access. How is the commission addressing healthcare disparities and also ensuring that Latinos have access to affordable and culturally competent healthcare?
So something that we've been doing is providing feedback to the plans and the programs that the agencies is doing. So every time they're going to work on a program, on a project, they always reach out to me, and I share this information with my commissioners so they can provide feedback. So they be actively providing feedback to DHS, and have been working closely with Penny, for example, who had also encouraged Latinos, and they have services in Spanish, which is another issue, to help the Latino community and to ensure that they are well taken care of in terms of health.
And Olga, I want to talk about your personal story. I understand you were the first elected Latino councilwoman in Bethlehem. You raised 3 girls as a single mom. Can you talk about your experience and how it's inspired you to speak up for so many Latinos in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I moved to Pennsylvania 28 years ago with my 3 babies. And all by myself, raised them in the south side of Bethlehem. It was a lot of struggle, but I was always very engaged with my community. I did became the first Latino woman ever elected into council, and this was a citywide seat. And I actually served the 2 years. It was a 2-year term that were left from a previous council person. And I then ran for re-election, and I was the highest vote getter. And all that I did without sending even one mailer out, one mailer, nothing at all. And that is because I believe that's a testament of my involvement with the community, how engaged I've been for the last 28 years with my community, that I didn't even have to spend the money doing mailers. But I had very proud of the work I've done, not just in my community, but with my daughters. My oldest daughter is an OBGYN for St. Luke's Hospital. And my second daughter is an immigration attorney, and my baby is a Pennsylvania certified doula. So they're doing great work, beautiful careers and work. And I am very proud of being able to take them there. And I think those are the things that I take with me every day when I'm doing the work I'm doing. When I hear my commissioners talk about the issues that their communities are living, and I am very connected to it because I lived it. I went through it, and I know that it can be done. We can move forward, and we can get better. So that is the attitude that I bring when I am talking with my commissioners about issues within their community.
Yeah, your work and sacrifice is definitely very appreciated. Olga Negron, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.